Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Big Girl Diary. Look, I got an interesting one for you today. And what I'm going to do today is just simply respond to the subscribers. And I got to say, there's some pretty good ones about Marilyn Manson. And there were mostly, I'll let you take a look at it and then you can make up your own mind. Okay. Let me see. Let's go with the first one. And this one is a video about Brighton. Alright, great video. Elma and Evan needs to be held accountable. And that right there is, I believe it's very true. They do need to be held accountable. Because, in my opinion, and this is just me, if you don't if you disagree with me, subscribe, like, or dislike the video, and put something down why you don't agree with me. From what I see now, women, not all women, but some women, have been given the license to do whatever they want to whomever they want, and nothing happens to them. Like Amber Heard was in court lying. She lied in Australia when she brought those dogs there and said that she didn't know, blamed it on somebody else and lied. She lied in Virginia. She lied for a whole, 6 weeks? Non-stop lying. And even though that, what's her name? Camille called her a liar. Man. And then she lied over then and what she said in England. She didn't participate in it, but they used her info where she lied. Then she gets up there and says that she was a domestic abuse. She was DV'd and had all these things that happened to her, but never went to the cops. But goes up there on stage with the feminists saying what happened to her, and she wanted to champion and be a voice, and lied all the way through. For me, I would have a problem with a person like that that's being extremely disingenuous, because I would look at it as you're taking my pain and my plight and you're trying to get some exposure out of it. You want to get likes and clicks that you are really for me. I would have a huge problem with that. But that's just me. But then again, she was held accountable. Now, Amber Heard fans, fine, support her. Everybody needs support. But I'm not even gonna say that. Let me pull that back. All right, let's see the next one. Oh, all right. Right here it says, personally, I do not believe in the jealousy theory so far. Now, I said that Evan was jealous, and I gave reasons why. Because Evan, Marilyn and her were together over some years, and they broke up, got back together. They had like almost a year apart, and then got back together. And each time they were engaged, she never got the ring. Okay, I think she got caught up in the feminist movement. She joined that she lost herself, or a sense of reality, and her brain twisted things, potentially with help from other people. She had regrets about stuff and wants to rebrand herself to fit better with the role she wants to play now. Now, I find that interesting because Evan's brother did say that she had an issue with reality, what is true and what is real. So what if she sees this whole thing as a role, and she's like in her delusions, and this is a role? But I don't know. It's just a stretch. But I thought that was interesting. Okay, where was I? Okay, enroll, and she regrets about the stuff and rebranding herself. A few weeks later, or a few weeks ago, a man on Instagram posted an Evan Rachel Wood's mother had been a manager, or had been his man. Wow. Evan's mother had been Marilyn Manson's manager, and that he fired her for unethical practices. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He said that Evan Rachel Wood was obsessed with Marilyn Manson, and she talked about him constantly. I didn't know if it's true or not. It would validate your theory, meaning me, saying that she was jealous, and not so much jealous of him, but jealous of his wife. So I thought that was really interesting. All right, thank you for that one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is the Esme Bianco video. Okay, my girl, it is so funny how we are so much, or how we're alike. I caught myself making the same gestures as you make a lot. Okay, okay. We just have twin brains and twin expressions. I'm so silly, oh my god. Wooden Otter. Okay, oh, back at you. I need all the positivity and the twins I can get. I'm so silly. Okay, this is the Brighton video. Okay. Huge hoax dumped on Marilyn Manson. Great video. And again, it goes back to, okay, just recently, Alex Jones, he is so easy not to like. Oh man, he is an easy person not to like, and he too is a target because he's a shock jock, and he got sued for $49 million for saying that what happened in Sandy Hook was a government hoax. Now, not to say that it wasn't real. The children did die, which is horrible, by a young man that was deranged and didn't get the help that he needed. And there's so much I want to do on mental health, but that's going to be on my other channel. So, I agree with you. I believe that there is a lot of clout chasing and pile on. You know how whenever the quarterback in football gets tackled and all of a sudden everybody piles on? That's what I think what's happening here. Okay, it's just my thought. That's it. Alrighty, let's okay, again, Esme, the one I did on the clout chasing. Okay, she says, I was under the impression that Marilyn Manson was actually facing trafficking charges regarding this specific case, but I recently heard a lawyer saying it was only a civil suit, i.e., she's accusing him of tracking it and suing him for the money. And I got a big problem with that. Let me finish this. But he's facing no actual criminal charges. I feel this is a media... I feel like the media tries to spin the whole story in the most negative way possible towards him. And I'm just so tired of it. And thank you for covering it. And you're very welcome. And in my opinion, I most definitely agreed with you. Because now, I think that if she was human trafficked and she brought this suit up, and I know some what do you call it, a prosecutor or some government attorney general or something would have taken notice, and most of it would have done something about it. because there's such a big thing on human trafficking now, just to say, well, he human trafficked me. I don't want to go and press charges against him. I don't want to sue him civil. I don't want to sue him criminally. I don't want him in jail. I just want his money. And for me, I have a huge problem with that, because there are so many young people that are being trafficked, and she's claiming, oh, let me stop. Let me, oh, walk it back. Walk it back. I gotta walk this back. I don't want to get angry when, Gotta drink some ice water on that one. Okay, and you're welcome. I'm doing my very best to cover it with all the info that is out there and sifting through the lies from what is true. Alrighty. Okay, this is another one from my video with about Amber and Evan Rachel. Okay, Rose. Let me see. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Rose really couldn't comment otherwise regarding the accusations against Marilyn Manson without likely getting herself canceled. So she was one of the main accusers against Harvey Weinstein, and it is a prominent figure in the Me Too movement. I personally wish she wouldn't have commented at all. I always liked Rose and her own accounts of Marilyn Manson in the book Brave paint a very different picture of him, excuse me, than the way his accusers describe him. And that right there is really true. And on this right here, I got to stop and think, because I've been very hard on Rose, because I'm just like, hey, you know, you had a different experience with him, and now you're out there and you're not even helping him. But the interesting part was, and that she did accuse Harvey Weinstein, but Marilyn Manson, because someone came up and interviewed Marilyn Manson about that, and he really didn't say too much about it other than, why didn't she go to the police? Saying things publicly, yes, but if but what these women are doing, they are accusing people out in public and then turning around suing them civilly, and they are giving young women the wrong way to do things, in my opinion. And that is, we have a court system, yes, for civil suits, but we also have a court system for criminal suits. Marilyn Manson has a lot of money, and if he did what she said that he did, then she needs to take it through the court of law and go through it the criminal way, and then let everything be aired out there. But to sit there and say this and then have women backing this statement and what she's saying without going through the proper channels, in my opinion, is going to do so much damage. So much damage to not only us as a society, to where women are going to have a hard time getting a husband because of this stuff. Especially if women have an axe to grind. Now, I'm not saying that Rose had an axe to grind against Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, he, all the, oof, okay. I'm going to leave it as that. Okay, all right. Let me see. Okay, I already did that one. Okay. Okay, on the smile frown mask image has for centuries represented comedy and tragedy. I loved how you mentioned it, mentioned the modern street gang jail meaning laugh now, cry later. I appreciate that. I appreciate you too. Not a lot of people, well, I can't say that they didn't get the reference. They may have just not, write anything down. But I use that laugh now, cry later, because whenever you're dealing with, whether if it's politics or any part of life, people are going to show you one side before they show the other side. That's even if that is like Marilyn Manson. As I used him, he has this goth, devil worshipping type of persona that he puts out in public when he does his songs and on stage. He reminds me of Michael Myers. Man, I don't have that. I had a picture of him and Michael Myers. I was going to do a video on that, but I'm like, nah. So, and yeah, it goes back a century. Actually, it goes back more than centuries. This goes back about 3,000-4,000 years. I want to say Babylonian. Oh man. And you could even take it back to Hermes. That's one. And I'm going to leave it as that. Alrighty. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. This right here was Brighton the Brighton one. I love the authenticity in your coverage. Here is a case as it unfolds. You are so right about we can't judge, or we can't make this. You can't make this stuff up. This is some wild stuff. It's like reading a thriller. And I can't wait to turn the next page to reveal the truth, exposing the real criminals in the case. P.S. Subscribe. Oh, thank you. And yeah, you really can't make this stuff up. I mean, the wild accusations. Now, I have heard and seen some wild stuff, but this is off the charts. Like, I'm gonna give you a quick story. My children, when they were little, many moons ago, my daughter came in and said, "Mom, the Christian eat the cake." They were about two and 3, somewhere around there. Christians eating the cake. Christians eating the cake. And I'm like, "Did you have any cake?" She said no. She had cake all over her face and hands. So I go in and my son is just going in on my cake. He has cake all over his face, in the refrigerator, on the floor, on his clothes. But she's out there not telling the truth, and some of these women here are not telling the truth, and I'm gonna leave it there. Alrighty. Okay. She is such a scammer. She would throw anyone under the bus to save herself. What a despicable thing! What a despicable thing she is. I don't know who is worse. I really don't. And oh, goodness. And that right there is true. Now that was referring to the video that I said that Evan Rachel Wood, her boat is cracking. And because Ilma's like, wait a minute, I loved you. I did all these things for you and only you, to go after your ex-boyfriend. I love you, and you're giving him all this extra attention, and you want him back, but you kind of like that. That's what I thought, but so yeah, Ilma's starting to wake up. All right, and okay, I told you she's an amateur. She thought she could run with the big demons, the defendant. Oh my goodness. But she's got nothing. It's and I most definitely understand the reference. If you understand anything about the music business and just entertainment business, just the entertainment, that's a whole world in itself. and the compromises that you have to make just to make a little bit of money. It's who did that rock soul song? I sold my soul for rock and roll. Was that AC/DC? I don't know, but I know one of you know. And that's what you really got to do. You got to sell yourself for rock and roll. But yeah, Evan Rachel Wood just jumped out there. She jumped in a deep pond and got swallowed up. And she ran after to get that ring and didn't get it and failed twice. And that's why, in my opinion, all of this is happening. I mean, just the fact that she goes to Congress, and this has so many deep implications, so many deep ones. And one of my subscribers made reference to the Senator Rubio, or Representative Rubio, I don't quite remember, out there in California. If this turns out the way I believe it's going to turn out, that there's going to be so much egg on Evan's face and Ilma, so much egg that it's going to cause people to look at that senator who pushed for it based on faulty testimony, going in front of Congress saying this stuff that would have never happened to you. OMG. It's not huge, but huge. It's like you tell this little lie, and next thing you know, it becomes this huge ball. And that's what's happening. Marilyn Manson is going to take that pin and pop that ball and explode. And it's all going to be on Evan Rachel Wood's face. And Ilma Gore for being her sidekick. You have Batman and Robin. You can't make this stuff up. But I thought I would share some of the what do you call it, the posts that I thought were rather interesting. There were so many of them, but oh my goodness, I didn't mean to go this long. So, seeing all that, what do you think? You know what I think. But what do you think? But besides that, you could be anywhere in the world and you're here with me, and I truly thank you. Time is something that you never get back, and I can't thank you enough for spending time with me. On that note, please like, subscribe, both are free. I'm trying to get to 1,000. Help me get to 1,000. And thank you for stopping by.